Do you find satisfaction in accusing me solely because you financed a study abroad program? Admit it, your behavior reeks of arrogance. From my perspective, the supposed free study abroad opportunity she mentioned comes with a hefty price tag of $50,000. It's not something I can casually overlook as a mere trade-off. It's remarkably early in the day, and her self-centered desires have already infuriated me. Your character truly leaves much to be desired. I certainly don't envision someone like you as my stepmother during my wedding. Our association ends here, all right? Very well. Following a series of heated exchanges, my anger peaked, prompting me to abruptly end the call. It was only after hanging up that I managed to regain my composure. I felt a tinge of regret for allowing my emotions to run unchecked. However, the weighty matter of a significant sum of money being at stake couldn't be ignored. The urge to hold my daughter-in-law accountable for exploiting her own child and resorting to deceit to acquire funds was undeniable. With this in mind, I resolved to address her actions and rectify the dishonesty. My name is Catherine, and this year I will be celebrating my 76th birthday. Blessed with 2 sons, the absence of daughters in my life made me particularly fond of my granddaughter, Emma, born to my elder son's family. Striving not to intrude upon my elder son's household, I offered financial support generously while refraining from meddling in their affairs or festivities. I eagerly anticipated glimpses of Emma's important moments and occasions, such as family gatherings and my son's birthdays. During this period, Nancy, my elder son's wife, approached me seeking advice concerning Emma, who was pursuing her college education. She confided in me that they were struggling to cover the expenses of Emma's overseas studies. Given that? Interested in studying abroad, huh? All right then. Emma's been putting in a lot of effort into her studies, and as her mother, you naturally want to support her dreams, correct? Yes, we're hoping to gather the necessary funds, but coming up with such a substantial amount immediately isn't feasible. I'll handle it. How much are we looking at? Well, it seems the estimate is around $50,000. The figure took me aback a bit. $50,000 in a single month was astonishing, but I understand that long-term study abroad can be quite pricey. Above all, I didn't want to see Emma abandon her aspirations. With that sentiment in mind, I made the decision to offer Nancy $50,000 from my savings. Nelson was immensely appreciative, and I felt no remorse about assisting her financially. However, my unwavering trust in Nancy's word would later become a source of deep regret. It was later revealed to me by my son Lucas that Emma had embarked on her journey to England. I found it a bit peculiar that Lucas had never mentioned anything about her study abroad plans before. Yet, at that point, I chose to dismiss any concerns and not dwell on it. Recognizing Nancy's evident gratitude and considering my son's thoughtful nature, I gradually started receiving pictures directly from Emma showcasing her overseas adventures, new friendships and the plethora of experiences that come with studying abroad. The knowledge that Emma was relishing her time abroad brought a profound sense of joy. Yet, even within Emma's emails, there was no reference to the expenses of her study program. I couldn't help but wonder if I was possibly anticipating too much acknowledgement, and while a nagging feeling persisted, I chose to keep it to myself. I truly appreciate that we were able to support her in her study abroad journey. Thank you very much. Glad to hear she's having a good time. It appears she's truly making the most of her experience. Life there carried on. Emma's emails arrived intermittently, sharing snippets of her experiences. Corresponding with her felt like a pleasant exchange. What sort of conversations did we share? Nothing out of the ordinary, just accounts of her delightful culinary adventures and newfound friendships. Reflecting back, it struck me that Nancy offered more gratitude than might be expected each time we met. It's possible that in their bustling household, financial matters might not be managed together, and perhaps they remained unaware. I convinced myself of this possibility and perhaps grudgingly accepted it. Though, there lingered a slight desire to receive appreciation from Lucas and Emma as well. Despite a few discrepancies, I chose not to dwell deeper on the matter. A few years later, as Emma's university journey culminated and she announced her upcoming wedding, the origin of my unsettled feelings became clear. An invitation from Emma brought this revelation. Discovering the elegant envelope in my mailbox filled me with genuine happiness and excitement for her. I dialed Emma's number immediately, eager to extend my heartfelt congratulations and exchange the usual casual banter. Amidst our conversation, however, I discerned a certain uneasiness between us, finally unearthing the root of the discomfort that had lingered all this time. "Emma, congratulations on your wedding. I received the invitation." "Thank you, Grandma. I'm glad the invitation arrived safely. Are you planning to attend the wedding?" "Certainly, I'm eagerly anticipating it." Amidst our casual conversation, the dialogue shifted towards Emma's experiences during her time studying abroad at the university. As we reminisced about her childhood memories, Emma began sharing various experiences with me that she hadn't had the opportunity to disclose earlier. "Emma, you put in a lot of effort into your studies. Studying abroad must have been quite an enriching experience, right?" "Yes, I'm genuinely grateful for the opportunity. Preparing the finances was a challenge, though." "You're referring to the tuition fees?" "Exactly. I secured a scholarship, but the eligibility criteria were stringent, and there was a mountain of paperwork involved. It proved to be more demanding than I had anticipated." For a fleeting moment, her words puzzled me. After all, I had assumed that the $50,000 for Ahmed's study abroad was intended for Nancy. Perplexed, I scrutinized my bank records and shared this with Emma. On her end, Emma was steadfast in asserting that she had independently researched and acquired scholarship funds, leaving no room for error. "I'm not making this up. I've retained every document and piece of paperwork," she emphasized. I distinctly recall seeking advice about the study. I had given Nessie $50,000 for Emma's study abroad expenses, or at least I thought I did. Something didn't add up, and Emma and I pondered over it during a phone call, but no matter how much we mulled it over, the truth remained elusive. Emma then mentioned she would inquire with her mother, and our call abruptly ended. "Where did the $50,000 go?" "I provided it for your study abroad costs." "Oh, I actually studied abroad on a scholarship." I had wondered if there was a misunderstanding at play. The actual revelation came the following day in a phone call from Nancy, and I struggled to believe what I was hearing. "Hello, Nancy. Is this a good time? There's something I need to clarify." "Something?" She dismissed my query and needlessly spoke about it to Emma. "Catherine." Nancy's voice held a mix of anger and frustration. She didn't even offer a greeting before launching into a sudden tirade. That something Nessie was referring to, as much as I didn't want to accept it, must have referred to the $50,000 I had handed over. Nancy's demeanor on the other end of the line seemed to confirm that she had done something with that significant sum of money. I couldn't remain silent, not like Nancy. My voice turned to one of anger as I retorted, "Unnecessary things? Are you talking about the $50,000 I set aside for Emma? Wasn't that money meant for her study abroad expenses?" "Yes, I thanked you numerous times for that, didn't I? But I heard from Emma yesterday that she secured a scholarship for her study abroad. What in the world did you do with the money I handed over?" Nancy's responses on the other end of the call were evasive, avoiding the matter of where the money had gone. Despite my persistent probing, she continued to offer excuses, mentioning it was utilized for Emma's college fees, wedding preparations, and so forth. My patience dwindled, and I confronted her with even greater resolve. If that were the case, honesty would have been the best policy. I would have willingly given you the money. What I truly want to understand is why you maintained this lie with both me and Emma. What's the rationale behind these falsehoods? You've received the money, that's all in the past. It's inconsequential. What I seek is the truth. Why the deception and misappropriation?" Emma, with a determined cry of, "Let's confront Mom," grasped my hand. Her proposition aligned with my desire for Nancy to confront her actions. Emma, concerned that I might be subjected to mistreatment again, chose not to attend the wedding. This decision led us to arrange a direct meeting with Emma outside the event, so we could personally present her with a gift. What happened, Grandma? You confirmed you were coming just a little while ago. I apologize, Emma. An unexpected matter came up. Grandma, you've always found reasons to back out and never celebrated with me since I was little. Wait, what? What exactly do you mean? Emma's words hit me like a wave, leaving me momentarily stunned. Admittedly, my intention had been to grant Emma space by not intruding into her celebrations. Still, I believed I had displayed my support through generous financial contributions. In retrospect, it was perhaps Nancy's discomfort that led me to take a step back from involvement. Until now, I had been content with the photos, but subconsciously, I might have been harboring concerns. It's unsettling to think that the financial gifts I provided to aid Emma weren't used for her benefit. This realization sent shivers down my spine. Emma sought to clarify what exactly was being discussed. Yes, I had given Nancy the money before you embarked on your study abroad journey. However, when I inquired with her, she claimed she hadn't received anything. Is that so? I questioned Nancy about it afterward as well. I recounted the entire conversation I had shared with her over the phone, leaving no detail out. I recounted her evasive responses to my inquiry about the $50,000 intended for study abroad expenses, and how she ended up being confrontational. While Emma might not have immediately bought into the suspicions I harbored against her mother, her murmured acknowledgement indicated she was piecing things together. Her gaze dropped, lost in thought, and a recollection seemed to resurface. My mom behaves that way with me too. She lies with a poker face, and when I voice my concerns, she reacts defensively. It's frustrating. That's why I believe you're not making this up. Lying and misappropriating money is never acceptable. Grabbing my hand, Emma exclaimed, "Let's confront Mom." Her suggestion aligned perfectly with my desire for Nancy to confront the consequences of her actions. Thank you, Emma. It's a shame, though. I had wanted to take pre-wedding photos with her. I'd be really happy to, but don't pre-wedding photos typically involve just the couple? It's all right. My photo album has been missing your pictures all this time. Besides, I don't want to be in photos with someone who's been dishonest like Mom. Approximately a month later, Emma conferred with her fiancé and expedited the pre-wedding photo shoot. We discreetly captured the moments without Nancy's knowledge. I stood beside Emma, a radiant beauty even more captivating than in the images I'd seen before. Uncharacteristically, my excitement was palpable as I spoke. My son Lucas appeared with a sincere smile and an apologetic expression. "Mom, I'm so sorry for all of this. Nessie always told me your health prevented you from joining celebrations, and I believed her. That's why I never questioned it. I've been wondering if the celebratory money I've been giving was actually used. As for that, I think it's fine. I was present every time we received it." That's reassuring to know. It appeared that Lucas still had some lingering concerns which he was in the process of addressing. Both Lucas and Emma had become suspicious of Nancy's behavior and were deeply upset about the $50,000. Just as I was engrossed in conversation with the two who had allied with me, my phone rang. Nancy was on the other end of the line, her tone seething with anger. She had apparently discovered the altered pre-wedding photo shoot arrangement and was directing her fury towards me. "What the hell is going on? You mean to say you secretly carried out the pre-wedding photo shoot without me, huh? Don't pretend this isn't your doing. You're just trying to get back at me since you can't attend Emma's wedding." Nancy's voice exuded a sense of triumph. I let out a quiet sigh and recounted the truth to her. It was actually Emma and Lucas who had orchestrated the change in the pre-wedding photo shoot. At my words, Nancy fell silent, presumably realizing that Lucas and Emma had been privy to the real story. After a brief pause, she launched into a barrage of insults directed at me. Listening to the conversation unfold on the other end of my phone, Lucas and Emma glanced at each other, their expressions contorted with a mixture of pain and frustration. "Where's the proof that you provided the money, anyway?" "Emma won't believe such a thing. She didn't believe me. That's why she took the pre-wedding photos with me. It's impossible that she'll take your word over her own mother's. Maybe it's time you started recalling your daily activities. If you can't believe me, feel free to ask her directly." As I spoke, Emma's voice, overheard from the other end of the line, chimed in. Engulfed by an expression of intense dissatisfaction, Emma held my phone. "Hey, it's Emma. What's going on? Why didn't you or Mom join us for the pre-wedding photo shoot? Mom, why won't you apologize to Grandma?" "Oh, that? But don't you think you owe me an apology too? It's absurd that there aren't any pictures of your mother in the pre-wedding shoot. Don't you agree?" As I listened to Nancy's strident voice, disregarding Emma's words, Lucas took the phone and interjected. Even he, her husband, seemed unable to manage the conversation, shaking his head in a gesture of resignation. "She's not going to listen, no matter how much we say. I never anticipated it would come to this. I'm going to confront Mom in a way that's all right now." "Confront? How are you planning to do that? You mentioned it earlier." "Leave it to me. I have a solid plan." Seeing Emma's determined smile, Lucas and I exchanged a glance. I had discussed with Lucas about skipping the wedding and instead asked him to capture Emma's radiant presence and the ceremony on video. Thus, a few days after the wedding, as I excitedly awaited the video of Emma's wedding that Lucas would show me, I was taken aback by an unforeseen turn of events. It was during the reception that Emma, with a thank you letter in hand, addressed her mother, Nancy. The letter revealed that the money I had provided to support Emma's education was diverted by Nancy to settle her own debts. Naturally, the venue erupted in chaos, yet Lucas's video recording distinctly captured Emma's voice. The recording exposed that the study abroad funds intended for her, given to her mother, Nancy, had been used inappropriately. This secret had been kept not only from me but also from Emma and Lucas until recently. Emma publicly denounced her mother's actions, even revealing Nancy's inability to attend the wedding due to her deceit in front of all their relatives. In the midst of the video, a scene featuring a figure that appeared to be Nancy came into view. She was gesticulating wildly, her voice escalating in a storm of anger. "How dare you? Seriously, you're a disgrace, you terrible mother. It's all a fabrication. I have proof. Everything I'm saying is the truth." The video captured these exchanges vividly. While it was evident that Emma wanted to project an amicable image to her relatives, she ended up being condemned by all and shrinking in embarrassment. Lucas had even managed to capture various awkward moments on camera. My astonishment grew as I watched the video unfold to its conclusion. "Emma, it seems you've taken your revenge quite effectively," I confronted her now. She admitted it afterward too. "I discovered that she used the $50,000 you gave her to clear her own debts." "Well, it seems she also employed it for personal matters and shopping, as well as gambling. But doesn't that seem like an excessive amount to squander on debts and shopping?" Fred chimed in. "Well, it turns out this is just the tip of the iceberg. She seems to have been fabricating lies and misappropriating money here and there." Lucas's revelations left me speechless. It was an incredibly distressing narrative, but not entirely shocking coming from someone who could lie so brazenly to her own family. In light of this situation, Lucas intends to proceed with a divorce from Nancy due to the troubling behavior that has come to light. Emma, now married and residing in a separate household, stands behind this decision and is pushing Lucas forward. Later, I received a message from Lucas indicating that he had successfully obtained the divorce. As for Nancy, it appears she hasn't given up on trying to establish contact. It's her prerogative as a mother. However, Emma's husband is unwavering in his refusal, and they have never met in person. "I can't introduce such a liar to my child, even if we have one," Emma asserted. Emma has effectively distanced herself from Nancy by moving away. Nonetheless, our relationship remains unchanged, frequently exchanging trivial emails. Emma's husband is a genuinely kind person, and since the pre-wedding incident, he's forged positive relationships with everyone in the family. Interestingly, there was one instance of contact from Nancy since then. During the call, she said, "Allow me to see my daughter. Everything will be settled. I can't reach Emma. Just tell her that everything I said was a lie." Naturally, I declined. Subsequently, I severed all communication with Nancy. Incidentally, the $50,000 that Nancy misappropriated is now a point of contention in the divorce proceedings, and it's expected to be repaid as alimony. Given that her wrongdoing has been exposed to all the relatives who attended the wedding, it appears there is no longer anyone siding with Nancy. Currently, Nancy seems to be toiling day and night to fulfill her alimony obligation. "Granny, I'll let you know as soon as I have a baby, so get ready." Absolutely, dear. Wonderful news like that is always eagerly anticipated. Emma, who has chosen the path of honesty, has drawn even closer to me. In an effort to make up for the events and celebrations we missed out on in the past, she's now planning a family trip, expressing her desire to create countless memories together. Emma's strength and determination through this ordeal have deepened our bond. Despite the hardships and revelations, our relationship has grown stronger. Her commitment to living authentically and confronting challenges head-on has been truly inspiring. As for me, I've gained a renewed appreciation for the importance of open communication and trust within a family. This experience has also reinforced the significance of standing up against deceit and unethical behavior, no matter how close the relationship. While Nancy's actions caused pain and chaos, they also led to a powerful shift in our family dynamics. With Emma now married and embarking on her own journey, we've redefined our roles, drawing closer as we embrace this new chapter. And as we look ahead to the family trip Emma is planning, I'm reminded of the resilience and strength that comes from facing adversity together. Our shared experiences, both joyful and challenging, have united us in a way that I cherish deeply. Through it all, Emma's unwavering honesty and her determination to seek justice have left an indelible mark on our family story.